Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be on the new Battle Pass Season 8 that started yesterday from the day this video was released. So we're just going to step through the event guide and sort of point out the new features and if there's any changes. So let's start there. Now, as you've probably seen, the theme of this season is based on a miniature game that you can play on the tabletops called Warhammer. And we'll show some of that information. Haven't played that game myself. I haven't really played desktop games since I was in school, which is a long time ago. I won't tell you how old I am, but yeah, I used to play tabletop games with the plastic models and that sort of thing. Anyway, let's have a look. So there's 3 chapters, of course, as there always is in each season. Obviously, last season had an extra one, which was really like a miniature marathon game and gave you a tank if you'd completed that. So good luck if you managed to complete that. But the Warhammer game has got basically 3 factions, which sort of lines up with this season. So there are Ultramarines, which is the character in the middle here with the blue one. Death Guard, which is this one here, the ugly looking monster there, and the Evil Sons Orcs, which are the fairly armored ones here, and each one's going to be aligned with a tank. All right, let's have a look at the rewards. Pretty standard in this sense. Each season has got 50 stages, and if you complete the base rewards, that is, if you're free to play and you're not buying any, you're not using gold to get the improved pass, then the top row is basically the rewards you'll get. So very standard in that sense. So all the bonds are available in the base rewards, but the thing that you don't get you get the 3D styles also with the base rewards, but what you don't get unless you get the improved pass is the bond equipment, not bond equipment, the bounty equipment. There's no bond equipment, unfortunately, in Battle Pass now. So you get to stage 50. Actually, there's a couple of stages. I think it's earlier that you get some extra ones here, but bounty equipment available when you reach stage 50 in each one, but in the 3D style is available at the end. So there's 4 stages of the 3D style, so if you don't complete everything, you'll still get parts of the 3D style, and each one sort of builds up on top of each other. So I'll let you go through this article. I'll put the link in below in the description so you can go and read it, and you can basically step through this guide and just see what the rewards are for each section. The 3D styles, so these are the things that you get by completing the different stages, the chapters. So one is based on the E100, which is the Ultramarine one, which has got these lovely blue colors, and it's a really nice looking style, I've got to say. I've got an E100, so I've got this style on it now, and it's got these lovely relief badges on it and shields, etc. So that is the U100. The Object 430U gets a different style here, which is based on the Chaos gods, one of the gods called Nurgle. So it's interesting to read about this game, actually. It's got some lovely names in it, and you can see it's got some fantastic components on it, and some barbed wire around the gun, so you might actually go and get a 430U. And the STB1 has that based on the third area, which are the Sons Orcs, I think, is that what that's for, and it gives you Dakka, so you can just imagine what Dakka means, Dakka. But it's got some lovely teeth on the front of the tank and so on, so quite menacing there also. So look forward to getting an STB1 as well, just to show off that style. But if you've got one of those tanks, then of course these are the ones that you earn extra points on, and we'll get to that in a second. So let's have a quick look at the commanders. And this is one of the big differences between this season and the previous ones. So we've got the 3 commanders you can get. There's Dolgoth Sepk of the Death Guard, and then we've got Volusad Thasius of the Ultramarines, and Kroglan the Facegrinder of the Evil Sons Orcs. I love the names. So each one comes with completing one of the chapters. Now the special thing here is, compared to previous seasons where you could basically assign these crew to the roles you want and also pick the nation, these ones are fixed to the nations that you can see the tanks are. So Dolgoth Sep comes with the Object 430U, so that means he's locked to Soviet tanks. Volucad Thasius of the Ultramarines is locked to German tanks, say the U-100, and then we've got Kroglan to Face Grinder will be locked to Japanese tanks. And this, I believe, is actually just based on the licensing agreement from the company that makes Warhammer, because if you put them all in one tank, they would kill each other. I think is the main reason there. Just keep aligned with the way the story works. You have to keep them separate, so the Wargaming can't control too much of that other than controlling the nation that you put them into. So they put them in separate nations, and unfortunately that's the way it goes. So you won't be able to create one powerful crew with these ones. You'll have to split them up between crews. So the other things that you can get by completing chapters is 2D styles, and there's 3 different 2D styles you can get, and these are quite nice as well. These are not locked to any tank, so you can use these on any tanks that you have from everything I can see. So we've got one called Son of Macragge, which sort of looks like Ultramarine related. Yeah, it's got the same badge work on it. Flyblown, which is the Chaos side, and you can see pretty maggoty looking tanks here with these styles on it. We've got a similar style already in the game from previous seasons, but that's, yeah, it makes them look pretty grotty. And then we've got Mordaka, which is similar to the one on this TB1 it was shown, but it's a 2D style, so you don't get the extra features on the tank there, but similar colors, including the lovely flames on the front there to show that it goes faster. Then what everyone's been waiting for, the Cobra. So this has been in the game files since the last season, and everyone should know that it takes 24 Battle Pass tokens to acquire this, and you can only get 21 maximum tokens in a season. So if you looked at that and said, oh, I really want that, and you kept some of your tokens from the previous season, they do run until the end of the year, so tokens carry forward from each season to the next, and then you have to consume them all by I think it's December is the period there. There'll be a date for that we'll get to in a second. But the tier 9 premium tank called the Cobra, similar to the other tier 9 tanks that have been released, in sort of the way it gets used, you can move crews in and out without penalty, and it basically is a fixed configuration, but yeah, it doesn't have special matchmaking or any special credit making. So I have a video now showing gameplay for the Cobra. It was just released yesterday, just before this video. You can have a look at that and see how that came out for the player. But yeah, you could be running at a loss, but that's sort of tier 9 economy anyway. Might be slightly better than a standard tech tree tank in that respect, but nonetheless, that's what the reward tank status means. But you have a look at this tank really quickly. British medium tank with an autoloader firing Hesh. So it's got 4 shells, and it can pump out those 4 shells 1.5 seconds apart. But then it goes into, I think it's about a 52-53 second reload between the magazines. So you do have to obviously get around the battlefield and be in a safe place to reload. But amazing burst damage there. But I think the overall DPM is quite low. It's around 1600 damage hit points per minute. So not fantastic, but just the ability to burst is really quite special. And if you have a look on the replay, again, I'll put a link below, you can just see how devastating that can be. Other interesting point to note, minus 10 degrees gun depression, very good there. Quite slow top speed for a medium tank. Decent reverse speed though, 25 kilometers per hour. And turret armor, nothing to write home about for its tier. So it's going to be a bit of an arm's length playing tank. And again, you'll see that in the gameplay video that I put out yesterday. All right. So a couple of reminders here to make sure you select a chapter once the season starts, and you can do the chapters in any order you want. So if there's one particular of those tier 10 tanks that you've got or you're working towards, and you only can use that style, then you may as well select that chapter first. Otherwise, you can start at the start and just keep working your way through. You can also change stages. You can change chapters at any time. So if you want to work on another chapter at some point for one of the earlier rewards, then yeah, you can do that any time. You won't lose any progress you've made. So the main thing, of course, is working towards the battle pass tokens to achieve one, to be able to spend on one of these tanks here. And of course, if you have a look at the in-game shop, you can see items available for tokens, and you can still buy these tanks, and actually the ones that were released earlier are now quite cheaper. So if you don't think you're going to get the Cobra, or you don't want it, or the Lorraine 50T, these are all much cheaper than when they were released originally. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And the other thing you get by completing the chapters is Battle Pass points. So all the points that you accumulate by completing the missions and the rankings that you get by playing games, you actually can spend those points in a shop as well. So get 3D styles from that too. Now on to earning Battle Pass points. This is pretty standard. You've got the 3 core vehicles, each of which you can earn up to 1,000 points each. And if you want to understand, based on your tank ownership, whether you're likely to be able to complete the 3 chapters, there's got this handy calculator on this page, which you put in the number of vehicles you've got at each tier, because each tier has got a different limit on on each tank. And once you reach the limit, you can't accumulate any more Battle Pass points, of course, apart from completing missions. If you're running missions to get Battle Pass points, they're independent of the tank. So just something to keep in mind there as well. So I just put in the numbers I've got, 27 tier 6s, 15 tier 7s. I couldn't believe how many tier 8s I've got, 45, a lot of those are premium tanks, 10 tier 9s and 26 tier 10s. So just with those and the E100, because I don't have either of these ones, and without completing any missions, I've got a potential 51,490 Battle Pass points that I can earn just by reaching the limit if I played all of those tanks all the time, and that would well cover 150 stages, so which is the 3 chapters. So you can use this basically calculator to work out, do I have enough tanks just to complete the chapters, to get an idea of what the achievability is. And of course then the daily missions, if you think you can do so many of the different missions each day, you can work out how many Battle Pass points you're going to get from that. And of course, if you're playing Frontlines, which just finished on Sunday, you would have earned Battle Pass points there, but they would have been accumulated for the last season. And of course, Steel Hunter started today as well, and you can earn Battle Pass points by playing that too. And of course, they just all add up to complete whatever chapter that you're in. So we won't go into the story, leave that for you to read, and if you're already embedded in playing Warhammer, you know the story pretty much, so we won't go through that as well. You can even play some of the music based on this page as well. And the last thing to mention is that there are some bundles that you can purchase through the premium shop that will also give you an additional 3D style, which is for the Batchat 25T and a special crew member. Now, I believe those crew members that you can get through the bundles are not locked to nations. So I'm not sure exactly why that is, but that seems to be how it's working out. Probably one last thing to mention is that if you are time poor and you can't complete the chapters simply by earning Battle Pass points, it is possible to purchase stages. So if you are just short a few stages and you want to increase or get to the end of a particular chapter, I think it's 250 gold per stage. So if you just want to throw gold at the whole thing, it's 12,500 gold per chapter, just to give you an idea of what's involved there. And if you want to convert that back to cash, then yeah, do that, and you can see how much money you would have to spend if you just wanted to go straight into it from day one. But otherwise, good luck on the battlefield, earning battle pass points. I hope you enjoy the chapter. It's a little bit different this year, of course, but that's what we like. Little changes every now and then just to remind us that while we're playing it. And yeah, see you on the battlefield. Now, if you happen to like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, this is an opportunity to do that. We'll have better content to follow this one for sure. And thanks very much for watching.